Hello and welcome to Western Perspective. This week on the program, the Liberal government spill is over, with new Prime Minister Scott Morrison selecting his new ministry. Former PM Tony Abbott has been left off the new government, instead being appointed Special Indigenous Envoy to avoid fallout from the spill, but the job has faced criticism by Aboriginal advocates. Tonight we examine what it will mean for Aboriginal communities. A government broken, now united once again. A federal Liberal Party challenge, resulting in a new leader and government for the party and Australia.
We're on your side.
New Prime Minister Scott Morrison appointed former Prime Minister Tony Abbott as a special envoy to Indigenous affairs, as part of attempts to calm tensions with members siding against outgoing Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull. But despite the olive branch, the new job to champion Indigenous issues could cause problems for both Aboriginal communities and the party.
You know, at the end of the day, it's not for our people.
Mervyn Eads is an Indigenous advocate and CEO of Western Australian Aboriginal support organisation Nalamaya. He's unhappy with the decision to appoint Tony Abbott, claiming Aboriginal communities don't support it.
Aboriginal people do not want him. He's not wanted within our Aboriginal society and community, and to have nothing to do with any of our Aboriginal affairs. There was no consultation, no speaking to our people about it. We have Aboriginal ministers, Mr White and others in government that should be able to take control of any portfolio to do with Aboriginal affairs.
Mervyn believes the former PM's previous involvement in Indigenous affairs has negatively impacted his relationship with Aboriginal people.
He came out and said that he that our people live in dirt poor conditions. Is not a choice of our First Nations community, nor will he ever be after his comments about the lifestyle choices.
Murdoch University's senior politics and policy lecturer Ian Cook says it's a big gamble for Mr Abbott to be welcomed in the role by Indigenous Australians, despite his initial hesitation before accepting.
There are certainly a lot of parts of his history that it's going to be very hard for him to sort of talk back. Tony Abbott could poison these, already very poisoned waters, and so this is a big risk. He could be very damaging for Scott Morrison if he mishandles this.
Questions remain over the reasons for the appointment.
This is definitely a case of, given that he wants to stay in Parliament, and it's very unclear as to what he contributes in Parliament. And under Malcolm Turnbull, clearly his presence was destructive and not useful at all for the Liberal Party. And this is giving him a good big job to take on, to get his teeth into, to keep him occupied, keep him, basically as much as possible out of Scott Morrison's face.
However, Ian believes Tony Abbott should be given a chance.
But if he does a good job, if he tries very hard, if he stays out of Scott Morrison's way and is effective, then it could be a real positive.
While Tony Abbott has effectively signed on to support Indigenous communities, Ian believes there's hope for him in the role.
I think he's got to show he's listening. He's got to show he's being educated. He's got to show that he's talking across the different sides of politics, that he's taking messages from the Indigenous community and he's delivering them to the right of the Liberal Party.
But despite Ian's optimism, Mervyn believes it could be too late.
He was the Prime Minister of the government at one stage. If he wanted to make any difference, he could have made it then. Too late, Mr Abbott. The boat has sailed.
And that's the program for this week. We'll see you again next time, but for now, it's back to you, Ivan and Danielle.
Nelson, thank you very much. This week's main news again. Youth job seekers may no longer need to attend job network appointments following a review into job active system commitments. Although youth advocates welcome the changes for Stream A applicants to help disadvantaged unemployed people, concerns remains that the service aren't able to meet the needs of job seekers.
And that's our news for this week. You can follow the latest news on our website and Facebook page.
From Danielle and myself and rest of the team until 8 o'clock next Sunday, a very good evening to you.
Good night.